So, for the past 48 hours, the American people have been told that the USS Abraham Lincoln is in chaos. Dead sailors, mental health collapse, a crew pushed to the breaking point. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's one problem with all of this. CENTCOM said those reports are false. And as a 20-year Navy veteran, I want to show you what's really happening aboard that carrier. And I'll also just give you a little nugget at the end of this live stream that I want you to share with all of the people that believe these lies. And that's exactly what they are. They're lies. Hit the like and subscribe. Join the channel as a member. Let's get into this. So this is the statement coming out of CENTCOM, Admiral Brad Cooper. My time aboard the USS Lincoln yesterday was awe-inspiring. I wish every American could see the crew in action. You would beam with absolute pride when witnessing their camaraderie, teamwork, and resilience. Here's an important fact of the U.S. Navy's 11 aircraft carriers. The Lincoln currently has among the lowest cases related to mental health. This doesn't mean that all is perfect. Find any of the nearly 4 million Navy veterans, you're looking at one, in America today, they will likely tell you that the service at sea for long periods isn't for everyone. It's not. They're heroes. It is uniquely challenging and tough, and every single one of us, including me, reacts to the stressors in different ways. I've long believed that mental health is another aspect of individual health, requires our attention just like physical health and spiritual health. I applaud Lincoln's leadership, the senior enlisted leaders and the Chief Petty Officers Mess in particular, for stepping up and making mental health and crew resilience a leadership priority. To all of the sailors and Marines aboard the ship, keep up the great work, fair winds and following seas on the journey home. Admiral Brad Cooper, 4-star. Now, what you're witnessing right now across the news media, across everything, is a way to cause disruption. They can't beat us on the battlefield. They know that. They can't beat us here at home. So they're going after morale. And here we have a USS Nimitz veteran. I say veteran because he's got a full beard. And I want you to hear this guy. He lays it out just the way it should be said.
You need to stop placating their bullshit and tell them to toughen up, okay? What you're doing is you're destroying the warrior mindset that is supposed to be instilled in these sailors, okay? Everybody in the U.S. military is supposed to have this warrior mindset, and they're supposed to be strong and firm in their resolve. But what you're doing when you placate their problems is you're telling them that it's okay to not be strong. It's okay to be weak. And that is not what our U.S. military needs. So families of sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, the next time they call, send them away on a positive note. Don't just sit there and listen to them bitch. Stop them. Cut them off. Remind them of the things in life that are important, and remind them of what they do have that is good. Stop listening to your sailors, bitch.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this from my time in the Navy, and I know many of you posting your branch of service in the chat. A sailor that's not bitching, you better worry about them. You better go check on them. You better have a heart-to-heart. If they're not complaining about something, something is really wrong. Let's keep moving. This is going to be a good one. So this is Brad Cooper. He released the statement. We're tracking, right? Now, here is where I want to show you how every one of you is being manipulated. Hank Desmond. Let's get to who Hank is in a second. My grandson, Maurice, is on the USS Abraham Lincoln and is having a great time. They have plenty of food, such as these eggs. Here he is eating with a new black friend. Service brings people from all different walks together. The ship is doing well and the media is lying to you. Well, Desmond, the Navy uniform doesn't have this kind of anchor, number one. Number two, it doesn't say CVN or USS Nimitz on their uniform. This is complete AI generated trash. Now, I want to show you something else. Hank Desmond. Let's see who Hank is. Professor of logic at the University of Arkansas College. Doesn't exist. There's no college called the University of Arkansas College. Says free thinker, 76 years young. This is a fake account, and he's putting out fake trash. This is all lies. When have you seen eggs with spines on it, okay? Hank Desmond, liar. You need to be flushed and removed. This is AI-generated crap. I showed you this video earlier this morning. I did a little research. This was taken while the ship was in refit, while the ship was in the yards. That's why there's no people in the heads. 5,000 people on a ship, there is always somebody dropping a deuce. Guaranteed. It's just the way it happens. This is all fake. More fake news. Now here's another one. Sailors are sharing new photos showing the food they're eating aboard the USS George Washington, right? This is garbage. These are lies. This is not true. And I'm going to show you how wrong this is. So the guy that posted this, his name is Savior, okay? Savior. Now I want to show you something. Anytime you start looking at accounts on X, I want you to click on the joined tab and then look where he's from. Based in Europe. Europe. This guy is not even an American citizen, and he's posting lies and more trash about the United States military because he's probably paid by someone to do this. Now, here's the President of the United States on the tarmac talking to CBS News. CBS News, not our friend. Listen to what the president says, and let's see how we can misconstrue this.
Family members of U.S. service members are concerned about the conditions on board the USS Lincoln.
Well, no, that ship is that ship is moving right now, very shortly, and it's being replaced with another.
So they're saying, and it's hard to hear because of the aircraft, people are concerned about the conditions, the family members. Well, let me show you this one family member that just went on CNN and nuked the narrative. Thank you, sir.
Well, all of us parents miss our children very much, and I know we're all very proud of them. As far as my particular child, I've heard pretty positive feedback.
Oh, wait,
about
what?
The conditions there. Although I noticed the sailor saying the work is repetitive, that is something that we hear a lot. And we understand that they're under a lot of mental stress and have nothing but sympathy and respect for the hardships and the stress that are inherent to the operation that they're conducting right now.
Yeah, and I think what you said is important because, as I've been noting, you know, it's not a monolith. Right, you've got around 5,000 people on board that ship, and it's going to wear and tear on some.
He went on CNN and debunked the whole thing. CNN couldn't handle it. Well, it's a monolith. Yeah, John the Marine. I was a Marine detachment of the USS Nimitz in the 70s. The chow was fantastic. You're exactly right, John the Marine. Thank you for your service. These are all lies. And it's so crazy whenever all you got to do is click on their name and you can see where they're based at. Based in Europe. Changed his name 3 times. He's changed his account name 3 times. Now look further at the kind of trash this moron is putting out. More stuff, obviously some pro-Palestinian stuff, more stuff about the Navy. Here we go with pro-Iranian crap. Here we go, U.S. troops in the Persian Gulf scrawled protest message in the dust on an aircraft flap. No, that's probably saying Aloha snack bar. That's what this is. This is where you've got to find the source and debunk the source. Here we go, the Telegraph. a British newspaper, spreading more trash about the United States military. That's what they want to do. U.S. Navy sailor jumps overboard after 250 days at sea. Sailors have been jumping overboard on ships since Christopher Columbus. They have been jumping overboard. Going to sea is tough. It's hard. It's not easy. And people have mental breakdowns just like they do everywhere else. Now, not as often as blue-haired liberals do at colleges, but people do have breakdowns. That's just the way it is. You might get a Dear Jody letter. I've seen it happen myself. Hey, let's keep going. USS Abraham Lincoln's maintained among the highest crew re-enlistment rates of all carriers in the Navy. Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means the sailors on board that ship want to stay in the Navy at an 85% clip. No other branch of service has retention like this, or they didn't before President Trump got into office. Look at that. Sailors in the Marines of the Abraham Lincoln remain resilient after more than 260 days at sea. Anyone that tells you anything different, they are lying to you for the benefit of the enemy. Here we go even again. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, look what he says. The reckless and shameless American media completely intentionally misrepresent the USS Abraham Lincoln. They are playing on people's heartstrings. This is all emotional blackmail. This is all emotional blackmail. Look at the crew there sitting and talking with their commander-in-chief, with the Secretary of War. It's all lies. Let's go here to another clown spreading rumors about the military, and let me show you where this guy is from. Let's go here. Account based in Europe. Are you starting to understand the game? Are you learning something here? This is the way that they spread propaganda. This is called propaganda. This is the way it happens. Here we go. This is CBS. Iran war. The head of the U.S. Central Command, which oversees military operations, met with troops. Okay? The news media is mockingbird lies. Daily Mail. Trump's callous response as sailors throw themselves overboard in the Iran war as grim photos of food emerge. This is a British-based newspaper, and they want to sow discontent. These are all lies. This is fabricated trash to make people back home and look who they quote. Look who they quote. Da Nang Dick, Richard Blumenthal. They don't quote anyone with any substance. Sailors on board the carriers like the Lincoln feel the strain as Navy carrier deployments stretch longer. The people on the flight deck in these yellow in the yellow sweaters, these guys make things happen. They work on the catapults. They work on the tailhook. Don't listen to these lies. Wall Street Journal, 3 reasons extended carrier deployments take such a heavy toll at sea. You're starting to see how they all got their marching orders at the same damn time. This is all lies, all trash. Let me show you here. Look at the news media here on YouTube. Unearthed CNN segment reveals brutal conditions. Let's watch this one.
You're a veteran, so I wanted to ask you about a big story in the news this week. Conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is deployed in the Middle East. 200 family members of the crew voiced concerns over mental health and safety conditions on the ship to senior military officials last week. President Trump and Secretary of Defense Hegseth have been dismissing those claims. You served in the 82nd Airborne in Afghanistan. What's your reaction to this story?
I mean, not only are these conditions and the reports of the conditions heartbreaking, the response of the President of the United States pisses me off.
There you go.
And it should piss all
It pisses him off.
I would have hoped.
The response from the president pisses him off, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go here.
One military wife was quoted as telling the Pentagon officials that she had recently received a text from her husband saying he hopes he doesn't wake up tomorrow.
She got a text message from her husband on deployment. There should be no cell phones on that ship. There is. They allow it. I don't know why they allow it, but they do.
Being able to shower. They don't have toiletries.
The lack
Right.
of basic necessities, that includes toothpaste, deodorant, soap.
This comes down to military readiness. I've never seen anything like this before.
You're right, you haven't, because you never served your country. You spineless amoeba backbone piece of fecal matter.
Conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln have allegedly become so dire that sailors are trying to jump overboard. Imagine you've been trapped. Now, desperate families and angry lawmakers are demanding action. Imagine you've been trapped at sea for more than 200.
You're not trapped anywhere. It's an all-volunteer service. And this clown right here,
overboard.
I don't know where they got Jake Araya, a New York Post producer, but he should go back there. Listen to the talking media got all of their talking points, the Mockingbird media.
Now to the strain on American forces as the war in Iran approaches 6 months. The CENTCOM commander, Admiral Bradley Cooper, visiting the USS Abraham Lincoln in the region following reports of food shortages and concerns over the mental health of sailors on the ship.
When all the news media starts running the same story, look the other way. Always look the other way.
Let's bring in ABC's chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, who'll be hosting.
Yeah, she's never lied to us, has she? Martha's never lied to anyone.
This week, later on this morning. Martha, good morning. It's always great to have you. So the Lincoln has been at sea for a record-breaking stretch. What are your sources telling you about the conditions on board?
They never quote the sources. Never quote the source. I'm not even giving her a time of day. Listen, here's another one.
What is happening aboard this American military vessel is nothing short of a disgrace and a scandal. U.S. service members at sea for more than 260 days and counting. Conditions on board that have evidently gotten so bad.
We did 240 on a submarine. So cry me a river.
Bad. There are reports of sailors attempting to jump overboard. And at least one who actually did. And our commander-in-chief is now downplaying and dismissing these concerns.
Has the deployment gone on too long?
No. Not nearly long enough.
Not nearly long enough. And now more than 5.
What bothers me is there's no conservative media. There's no conservative influencers. There's no conservatives on YouTube. There's very few that will talk about this. I grabbed this because of a fellow content creator, Lou Valentino. Go check out Lou's channel. Lou reached out to me and said, Ben, you know about this. You need to put this out. People are worried. People don't understand. There's not enough conservative voices that are talking about this. The limp-wristed media is a damn disgrace because what they want to do is sow seeds of doubt into every one of you. That's what they want to do. If they can do that, that's how they win. Okay? I want to show you something here from the Deputy Secretary of War, Sean Parnell. And salute, tip my hat to any of you that served in the Army, any of you that served in the Marine Corps, any of you that served in something other than the Navy. Now, I did a little time in in Iraq. I was with the Brits. We had tea, we had beer. So I can't really say a whole lot bad about it, right? I was there in 2005. Sean Parnell, and any of you military guys, Army, Marines, stuff like that, big salute. I deployed for 445 days in Afghanistan with an 80% casualty rate. 8 out of 10 got hurt. We came under fire every day. Combat deployments bring real hardship. That is simply the truth. We endured it. We held together. We finished the mission. The media treatment of the USS Abraham Lincoln is something different. Legitimate challenges of a long combat deployment are being twisted into a false narrative, while the genuine difficulties faced by military families are being used for headlines. These pieces of shit are using families and service members to weaken the integrity of our military. He says it. That's shameful. The sailors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln are doing what American warriors have always done. Remain resilient, focused on the mission, proud of their service on this historic deployment. We stand with them. That's exactly what happens. This is an article by the acting Secretary of the Navy, Hung Cao. I urge you to go read that. I urge you to follow me over on X because I'm tired of playing the games with these limp-wristed, panty-waist losers that have degrees in feminine dance therapy. I get hot under the collar whenever they start manipulating United States military members for their own benefit. I'll see you in the next one.